Wow, this is seriously one of the most beautiful things I have ever seen. Mahomes gets confronted by Raiders fans in Mexico, and boy, it's sweet. Plus, new details emerge that LSU quarterback Jayden Daniels is trying to force himself to the Las Vegas Raiders. Will he succeed? And my cat wants me to pay attention to her. Over the past few days, we've had numerous insiders talking about the quarterback prospect Jayden Daniels and his connection to the Raiders. Based on all the reporting that's happened over the past few days, I really believe the Raiders could grab this guy as their new franchise quarterback. We need these moves in Allegiant Stadium. But in all seriousness, I had completely written this off. I thought there was no way that Jayden Daniels could be selected by the Raiders. But you have so much reporting coming from ESPN, Adam Schefter, coming from Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk NBC. And you've had all this percolating in the background for some time, and it's all coming to a head. The fact of the matter is Jayden Daniels, per multiple sources, has clearly expressed to the Commanders that he would like to play for another team instead. That team being the Las Vegas Raiders. On one level, you can say who cares what he thinks, he should be forced to play with the Commanders, but ultimately, all of these draft prospects are a gamble. We don't know how they're going to pan out, and a team like the Commanders is going to be reluctant to take a chance on a guy if he's already expressing that he doesn't want to play for them. This really does open the door for a Raiders-Commanders trade, maybe even a Raiders-Patriots trade if the Commanders still decide to select a quarterback. And you got Jeremy Fowler, after all these reports we talked about yesterday, doubling down on Jayden Daniels to the Raiders.
I spoke to somebody who's involved in Daniels' process who does openly wonder, is Daniels looking at his options right now? Now, he has had interest in playing for the Raiders. That is real. Sure. Staying on the West Coast, reuniting with Antonio Pierce.
Jayden Daniels is looking at his options. This is according to ESPN. This isn't just some random dude in his basement making up this rumor. These are NFL insiders talking to Jayden Daniels' camp. And imagine if you were in the Commanders' shoes right now. Just try to put yourself in their shoes. This freaking guy is reluctant to get drafted by you. He is looking at his options. He is openly telling people at ESPN that he wants to join the Raiders. How can they select him? How can they choose him at this point? I think it's a done deal. I think any moment, and I'm completely serious when I say this, the Raiders will trade either with the Washington Commanders or the New England Patriots if the Commanders go the JJ McCarthy or Drake May route. Some Commanders fans are trying to act like this is all pre-draft smoke, but you've already had Jayden Daniels' freaking agent respond to criticism of the Washington Commanders because they did that group interview with the top 4 quarterbacks outside of Caleb Williams, and the agent seems upset. The agent is critical of how the Commanders treated Jayden Daniels. If Jayden Daniels really wanted no problems here, if he was totally content with going to the Washington Commanders, then there would be no smoke right now. He would not be expressing doubt. He would not be looking at his different options right now. He's clearly pursuing a last-ditch effort to make this happen. This mock trade by Field Yates, the number 2 overall pick from the Washington Commanders, for 3 first-round picks and a 2nd-round pick. Of course, that's expensive. Of course, that's a lot of draft capital for a quarterback. But the Raiders are a team that already has premier pass rushers, already has superstar wide receivers, has over half of their offensive line signed to substantial contracts. This is a team that is one quarterback and a couple players away from being a serious contender. So Jayden Daniels, with his prototype being Lamar Jackson, with him being the Heisman Trophy winner last year, if he performs 75% as good as what he's projected to be, the Raiders will have a serious shot in the AFC West. So I say pull the trigger, make it happen. The guy wants to be a Raider, and the Raiders want him. Raiders fans confronted the Mahomes family, and I freaking loved it. The Raiders were the last team to defeat the Chiefs on Christmas. It was a beautiful sight. Mahomes was frustrated. He was breaking down. And obviously, the Taylor Swift saga helped get them another Super Bowl championship. And all of that positive PR is why I freaking cannot stand this team. They have so much sketchy crap going on, from Rashee Rice, who recently got in an accident and did a hit and run, and now nobody's talking about that, and it's an absolute shocker that that dude hasn't been suspended for the entire season yet. And then you got the entire Mahomes crime family. That's what I like to call them, the Mahomes crime family syndicate. Just recently, you had this drunk Patrick Mahomes Sr. get another DUI. The guy's had a couple DUIs, DWIs in the past. He just got his third in the state of Texas right before the Super Bowl in February. Here's his little mugshot here, and you can see that little annoying smirk. Means he knows he's gonna get away with it. He's gonna get out of it because his son has cash. Rules are different for thee than me. That's how it goes with Patrick Mahomes Sr. According to the law, Mahomes Sr. should be facing around 10 years in prison. That's how it goes for Texas state law with your third DUI. He has been formally indicted with a DWI. And here's what I don't understand. How do you have all this money? How do you have all this cash and you can't call an Uber home? You can't call a taxi home. These fools have so much freaking money, they should be able to call a stretch limo home. So drunk ass Mahomes Sr. had a 16-ounce Coors beverage in his center console, and he showed signs of being impaired during a routine traffic stop. I'm sure the law will punish him just like they would punish you and I. Yeah, of course not. Let's not forget the TikToker and eventual groper Jackson Mahomes. But hey, maybe Jackson Mahomes can teach Jaden Daniels a move or two. Jackson Mahomes, of course, was accused of some naughty allegations when he forcibly kissed this woman who owns a bar, grabs her by the neck, forcibly kisses her. She claims it was not consensual. Not gonna lie though, I do think that her allegations were a little shaky against Mr. Jackson Mahomes, but ultimately we got this hilarious footage of this dude going to court. Jackson Mahomes was definitely scared in this moment that he might end up behind bars and perhaps end up dropping the soap. Technically, she's not pressing charges. Jackson Mahomes is getting a lot of these charges dropped, but I think what happened next shows how sick the Mahomes family is and how they essentially ruined this lady's business and life.
Vaughn claims since the incident they have been a target, pipes cut at the business. They've been harassed by threatening phone calls and more.
And now we go to Brittany Mahomes, who has become a little more sad lately. She was the belle of the ball at Kansas City Chiefs games, and now all of a sudden, since the emergence of Taylor Swift and a lot of these celebrities appearing at these games, Brittany Mahomes has become an afterthought. And it looks like some of the eyes are going elsewhere to these people who are straight up celebrities and look like straight up celebrities. Perhaps the frustration has made Brittany Mahomes a little upset, especially when she orders at restaurants. Apparently, she's not a big tipper.
And my first interaction with her, she ran up over $100 tab. She was with her whole posse. Patrick was not there, but I believe their tab was well over $100, maybe like $130, $0 tip. And that happens sometimes. So I was willing to let the first one slide. And I'm like, maybe she just didn't like me. Maybe it was something I said. But they were there for almost a week, I think, and did not tip a single one of our staff. And not only did she not tip, she was just genuinely unpleasant. And I will always remember that, Brittany.
Maybe Brittany Mahomes was jealous of this waitress, but this is just another example of the Mahomes family being privileged and being cheap assholes. Your husband is a quarterback with millions upon millions of dollars, and you can't leave a fucking cent as a tip when you run up $100 tab? Are you kidding me? And not only was it one time, but it was for an entire week. Then you got the drunk ass dad who's too cheap to call an Uber, and he would rather risk almost ending somebody's life by getting behind the wheel when he's liquored up. Jackson Mahomes, he's in and out of court, and his actions are leading to closing down the businesses of women who he groped. And so that's why I absolutely love seeing Raiders fans confront Brittany and Patrick Mahomes while they're vacationing in Mexico.
Haters!
I love how Mahomes could not even look at them. He acknowledges that they are there, but he is too scared to even turn his noggin in Raider Nation's direction. I'm so sick of Brittany Mahomes thinking she's hot shit. She thinks she's such hot shit that allegedly she's polyamorous. There were some claims last year that the Mahomes couple is in an open relationship. Looks like Brittany Mahomes wants to look at her options. The Super Bowl champion is not good enough. You even had this tattoo released. This is apparently a polyamorous tattoo. Maybe it's Patrick Mahomes who likes to mix it up with another woman, or perhaps Brittany is trying to smash on one of those Raiders fans. Perhaps that's why they were quick to flee the scene in Mexico. We are going to be live for the Raiders' first pick in the NFL draft on this channel, so make sure you join me here. My name is Wi-Fi Willie. Like this video if you have not yet, and subscribe for more content from me. Peace out, and I hope you have a good one.